Hello friends, I am back again to share with you another last 10 books that I read. The first 4 of these are from my last series reading vlog that I did on Katie Roberts series, so I'm gonna go through those kind of quickly. First up is An Indecent Proposal by Katie Robert, book 3. Book 3 in the O'Malley series. This one is Olivia and I think I said his name is Cillian in the vlog, but I think it's actually Killian. Maybe? I don't know how to describe these without, like, giving away too much. But she is a single mom. She's on the run from a mob family and ends up meeting and hooking up with Killian, and things go from there. I gave this one 5 stars. Next up was the dud of the series for me, Forbidden Promises. This one is Sloane and Jude. Sloane decides she's gonna run away from the mob family, and while she's like in hiding, Jude shows up because he's connected to the mob family, or he's connected somehow. I don't know how to explain any of this. I gave this one 3 stars. This one was a dud for me. Next was Undercover Attraction. I gave this one 4 stars. This one is Charlotte and Aiden. Aiden is the head of the family. Charlotte is an ex-cop. And they like come up with a fake engagement to like entrap this other mob family who is the reason that she is no longer a cop. And finally, The Bastard's Bargain. I gave this one 4 stars. This one is Kira and Dimitri. This one is I was gonna say a forced marriage, but not really. It was kind of, she agrees to marry him to like get him to back off of her family. He's a mob boss in the different city. She agrees to marry him so that he won't go after her brothers. Next, I read an ebook of Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. I'm gonna give this one 3 stars. I just didn't get the hype on this one. Nothing happened in this. Like, there was nothing. It was cute, but it was about, I'm assuming they were high schoolers, who, I guess one of them was out and one of them was not out, and the one that was out was just kind of wondering if this guy was being nice to him to get him to join whatever kind of team it was, or if he really liked him. And I was just kind of like, okay, like, it's cute. I don't know how many times I can do this. Yeah. Then I read Love for Beginners by Jill Shalvis. I gave this one 5 stars. I absolutely adored this one. So this one is about Emma, who she was in an accident. She was hit by a car. She was in a coma, and then now she's like having to basically like relearn physical therapy and stuff. And while she was in her coma, her fiance and her best friend fell in love. So she is moving out, and she ends up moving into this apartment building with her physical not like the same apartment building as her physical therapist. And then, like, through him helping her, she meets his cousin, who is actually somebody that they had a very antagonistic relationship when they were in high school. And so it was about the like romantic relationship between Emma and Simon, but also Allie, that was his cousin's name, is also her and Allie kind of becoming more friends. And Allie has her own romance that she's trying to save because her boyfriend has dumped her. And there was, I loved every single person in this book. I loved the dog as like a service animal. He's adorable. Simon's dad is in there in the book. He's older. Simon has to take care of him. I loved him. I loved Simon. I loved Emma. I loved Allie. I forget what her boyfriend's name was, but I liked him too. I loved everything about this. Then I read Surviving Ice by K.A. Tucker. This is the last book, I believe, in her Bear and Water series. It's the last one I have anyway, so I hope it's the last one. This one is about Ivy, who is in San Francisco working at her uncle's tattoo shop when her uncle and one of his clients are murdered. So while she's kind of wrapping up everything to do with that, she's trying to sell the tattoo shop, she's trying to sell her uncle's house. What is his name? Sebastian shows up. And Sebastian works for the company, the hitman company or whatever. That's the one who actually killed her. He's not the person who killed her uncle, but he works for the same company as them. It was like a hit on her aunt. It was a hit on the uncle and the client. Maybe. I forget. But I gave this one 3 stars. There's not much, I don't know, I felt disconnected. I didn't really care whether or not they worked out the mystery behind who killed the uncle. I just didn't really care about either of the characters, so I gave it 3 stars. Another 3-star read was Echoes of Scotland Street by Samantha Young. This is book 5 in her On Dublin Street series. So this one is about Shannon and Cole. And Shannon, she moved. Yeah, she had been in a bad relationship and ended up getting abused. And then when her brother went to confront the guy, he beat him up pretty bad and got sent to jail. So she is feeling a lot of guilt over her brother's situation. So she moves away from all of her family and she ends up getting a job at a tattoo shop working with Cole. And that was pretty much it. It was just Cole trying to break through her barrier. And I gave this 3 stars because I thought he deserved much better. There was no reason for her to act the way that she did towards him, which I guess was the point of her acting that way, so that he could confront her, but I just didn't like it. Points when she was downright mean to him, and he was just kind of like, oh well, I love her, so. Then I finished that series and read Moonlight on Nightingale Way, also by Samantha Young. This is about the brother from the last one, Logan. Yes, Logan. He has spent 2 years in jail and now he's out and trying to readjust to the world, get up for some lost time with women, and he runs into his neighbor across the hall, and then during one of their fights or arguments in the hallway, a teenage girl shows up and says that he is her father, and that she's been living in a pretty bad situation with her mom and she wants to stay with him. So weirdly, the across the hall neighbor, what was her name? Grace. Weirdly, Grace decides to offer her apartment for the girl to stay in until Logan can get all the custody stuff situated out. Weirdly, Logan agrees to that. But yeah, I gave this one 4 stars. There was just points of it where I was like, are we gonna get back to the romance? I know the plot building involving the teenage daughter, but we've been focused on this for a little bit now. Can we get it back to the romance? And the next one, the last one, is another 3-star read that I'm so disappointed that I didn't love. Because once it was announced, it became a highly anticipated release for me. But I gave 3 stars to Fortunate Son by Jake Brownover. This is the first in I looked it up. What did it say? The Forever Marked series. It's the like second generation to her marked men. So this one is Rye and Bo. At the beginning, Rye's girlfriend breaks up with him, and before he even realizes what he's doing, he's leaving Denver to drive to Austin. Which, like, that's a long drive. It's a long drive. I don't know how you just like spur of the moment decide to do that. But he goes to Bo's house in Austin for a bit, and then like they hook up. They like while he's in Austin, they decide that they always liked each other. And then he leaves because he has to deal with things in Denver. Since he just up and left randomly. I want to say it was like even in the middle of the night or something. And then Bo comes to Denver to show him that like she's willing to try, and I gave it 3 stars. Everything just seemed very surface level. Nothing really ever dug deep on anything. Like, I would have liked more backstory on Rye and Bo. Apparently they were each other's first, and then I'm not sure who, one of them freaked out and left. I think she freaked out and left. But then he started dating the other girl, so I don't know. I would have liked more depth on his girlfriend. She's apparently got like something she's running from. Spoiler alert, towards the end of this, he is involved in a pretty bad accident, and like he wakes up in the hospital, and Bo says she loves him, and then it like chapter break. Fast forward to a month later, and I was like, see, there's all this in here though that I wish was expanded on, and it just wasn't. So those are the last 10 books that I've read. If you've read any of these, let me know what you thought down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!